gobble just right there. I mean, we need to go set up right now. He's just over the hill right there.
This week on Sportsman TV, turkey hunting. As you can tell, I'm not dressed for it. I'm headed to an elite tournament. The turkey woods this week will be left to Shane Johnson and Jared to chase those gobblers.
Shane was featured in Louisiana Sportsman magazine a couple years ago, and I read the article and read about the way he hunts on public land and how many turkeys he's killed in his lifetime, and I was thinking, man, this is the guy we need to do our turkey show with. Greg is out of town fishing the Elite Series, so I knew he wasn't going to be there, and we'd have to find somebody who was a die-hard turkey hunter to make this show work. So I called up Shane, I let him know what we wanted to do, and he was all over it. He said, come on, let's get it done.
I've been turkey hunting like about 30 years, since I was probably about 14, 15 years old. First year I turkey hunted, I never even seen a turkey. The first thing I ever seen was like a turkey track, and I was immediately obsessed with it, you know. I mean, I just, for some reason, I liked it. And then for sure, once I actually got to hear a turkey gobble and got to kill one, I mean, I just become obsessed with it. And I've been chasing them ever since, and I've never had any other place except public land to hunt them. I've hunted just a couple of times in my life that was actually on a piece of private land. So I hunt them public land just because that's what I have the option to do.
So I called Shane a few days before the shoot just to talk about things and get things planned out, and he let me know right off the bat, man, this is gonna be tough. The weather wasn't gonna cooperate, and we were hunting public land, so those birds were gonna be pressured.
Have you seen the number of turkey hunters grow in the last 10?
Every year since I was young, before I was married, it just gets a little bit worse every year. And it's done blew up right now to where it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's almost as many turkey hunters as there is deer hunters. You know, I mean, they got to be getting close, because especially public land birds in Louisiana, I mean, there's a lot of people getting after them now, you know. When I was younger, I could go on a Saturday and walk up to a big ridge overlooking a swamp bottom, and I'd fly down and I'd hear, it was nothing to hear 5 or 6 turkeys gobble. And now you can go take off work on a Wednesday and it be raining and foggy in terrible conditions, and you just about can't get on a gobbler without 3 or 4 guys trying to get on the same bird, you know. It's either all or nothing. I've seen people that, you know, I can't explain it, because I started when I was a young boy turkey hunting and became obsessed with it. And I get so excited, I mean, I could tackle somebody, you know what I mean? And it excites me just like I was a kid. Right now, I love to hear a turkey gobble, you know.
This is Ryan Terrio. I'm here at Bowie Outfitters, and listen, I'm an avid bow hunter. If you're looking for a place with the best service in the South and wonderful accessories, not to mention a top-of-the-line bow range, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. A wonderful staff here and great service at Bowie, but an awesome selection of guns. We have pistols, rifles, and shotguns, and everything else you could imagine. And for all those hard-to-find bass fishing and inshore products, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. That's Bowie Outfitters for everything outdoors, in between Essen and Bluebonnet on Perkins Road.
Do you want the better selection and bigger savings? Service Chevrolet Cadillac has the largest inventory of Chevys in Louisiana. You can choose from over 300 Silverados, all in one location. The Chevy Silverado has the best pickup coverage in America and the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup on the road. Shop the better selection and get bigger savings at Service Chevrolet Cadillac, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey, or visit us at servicegm.com.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
Don't just be a sportsman, look like one too. Men, women, kids, everyone wants to look like a good sport. And now you can find it all in one place without leaving the house. Our popular Sportsman logo clothing and accessories are just a click away at LouisianaSportsman.com. T-shirts, caps, polarized sunglasses, jewelry, koozies, and more are available in a variety of sizes and colors. It's easy to show the world that you are a sportsman. Visit shop.louisianasportsman.com today and get that perfect sportsman item for yourself or as a gift for that sportsman in your life.
I'm Richard Wagley. We're here at Bowie Outfitters. Now we're going to talk about shotguns and how important they are in turkey hunting. Well, you need a shotgun that's camouflaged. You don't want anything that's shiny. Same reason you camouflage yourself head to toe, your gun needs to be as well. The most important thing would be performance. You want that gun to, a lot of them shoot the 3.5 shells now. The more shot, you're trying to deliver more shot on target downrange. That's the reason why most turkey hunters use these specialized choke tubes. Unlike duck hunters or the gun that you would take out rabbit hunting or dove hunting, turkey hunting needs to be specialized, and you need to concentrate that shot column in a small, tight area, and you want to shoot at them in the head and neck, and that's why you want to be able to do that. And you need to take that gun out and pattern it as well to find out what your effective range for that particular gun with that particular load is as well. If you have any questions about where to get this specialized ammunition or these specialized choke tubes, you can go where I got mine, right here at Bowie Outfitters.
So day one, we're starting off completely blind. The only info we're going off of is what he had from last year. These areas have been closed because of military training, so he wasn't able to get in there and scout. So we start off in an area where he think there might be birds. And the cool thing about this spot was it was the kind of spot that a lot of guys just keep on driving by because it's so close to the entrance. And Shane knew that, so that was the spot he picked first.
And on day one, we went to Peace-on Ridge, and we started out, and I ain't gonna tell you where, but we went to Peace-on Ridge, and we started out in a spot that I had hunted the previous year and made several hunts there and kind of seen how them gobblers did. And, you know, they had a couple of locations that they would go, either or, they'd go to one or the other.
Everything Shane did before daylight broke was real soft, real subtle, and real stealthy. He wasn't really trying to make a big show yet. So he did a little calling and wait, a little calling and wait, and then finally, he heard something.
See, if it was a clear, pretty day, if there was a gobbler anywhere around, would it done made him gobble? That's a turkey. Yeah, no. Hey, there's about 4 or 5 of them right there. We need to get set up now.
When we heard that gobble, we knew we were in trouble because we still had a lot of setting up to do. I had the camera, he had the decoy, we had the small camera, the gun, all that had to happen before we could even get ready to call the gobbler in.
And there is no doubt in my mind, we had no other choice. I mean, you don't give up. So we hit the ground and got ready, hoping that maybe they hadn't seen us. Well, the way they reacted, I believe they had, at least 1 or 2 of them had seen us, because they flew down the opposite direction and they never gobbled no more, you know, and we give them ample time, plenty of time to see, you know, how they was going to respond. Well, that was the end of it.
We're about to go verify that we spooked these turkeys. Because I'm pretty sure we got too close to them. I want to run over the hill and see if I can see which way they're going. If we can figure out which way they're going, we can get around in front of them and we might kill one of them.
So eventually we find a burned area. And I didn't know this, but Shane was saying these are great areas to hunt because what happens is the fire comes in and it toasts all the little bugs, you know, the grasshoppers, caterpillars, all the things that the turkeys normally like to eat are now basically charbroiled for them.
But they love a burn. They'll get in it. It'll literally still be smoking and then birds will get in it. I've shot them in a burn before when I had stumps burning on
all around me. You know, there's still smoke boiling out of there, and them birds are already in there.
Well, we circled around and got on the back side of that burn because we had already kind of did some calling on this side. When we got on the back side, I got out and Jared was filming a burning log because it was burning. And I stood up on a big old stump myself, and my first call I made brought a gobble. And it was very close, and it was just really, really open where he was at.
And right back again, it's hustle time. Time to get set up.
We got one that just gobbled just right there. I mean, we need to go set up right now. He's just over the hill right there. We're gonna try to circle around without him seeing us and try to get set up before we make our next call.
And there was just no way for us to go to him, even straight to him, 45-degree angle. There's just no way. So we turned and went exactly away from him, and I made a huge circle trying to get around in the same block of woods he was on, and he was actually on a ridge that kind of run at a 45-degree angle, and that was what I was trying to do. I was trying to get around on the backside of that same ridge he was on, and then I was going to start inching to him and inching to him until we could get another response.
And for me, that was the most exciting part, is when we finally get set and Shane's calling and we're just waiting on him to show up. And being that this was one of those cloudy, overcast days, Shane was saying that they'll just show up out of nowhere. You won't hear them gobble, they won't try and talk back with you, they just kind of creep up on you. So I mean, it's the kind of thing where I'm pointing the camera and just knowing that any moment that turkey could just show up.
I don't have a clue which way he's gonna come up if he comes.
So we waited and waited, and I could see that Shane was starting to get skeptical about whether or not that turkey would actually show up.
Well, we inched up a little bit and started calling again. Well, the third time we moved, we was on the move, and I seen him, and he was coming right straight to us in that open burn. And I'm guessing he probably wasn't over 200 yards from us. And when we dropped down to try to hide, he saw that, you know, and that pretty much ended day one.
Why Bowie Outfitters? Our customers know why.
When you need something, you come in, you ask for it, and you can get it. Great selection of clothes here, guns, shells, calls, whatever you need. I like coming in and doing that. And more importantly for me, I'm a big bow hunter. I think these guys are better than anybody. That's why I come over to Bowie Outfitters.
That's Bowie Outfitters, Perkins Road between Essen Lane and Bluebonnet. Bowie Outfitters, for everything outdoors.
As fishermen, we're predators, and fish are the prey. In nature, the best fishermen have one thing in common: their eyes. How do you turn your eyes into the eye of a predator? It takes 11 layers of lens technology and a new lens color to make the human eye emulate the eye of a predator. Stop buying glasses for the classes. Make yourself an alpha predator.
Quality, performance, value. Polaris has it all. Whether you want a hard-working Ranger, smooth-riding Sportsman, or razor-sharp Razor, we've got a full line of industry-leading machines, all priced hundreds less than you'd expect. Right away on a Polaris Sportsman 400 for as little as $56.99 during the Polaris XP sales event. See all the great deals at Polaris.com.
Louisiana Sportsman Magazine. For over 31 years, your source for fishing and hunting information. Each month you will find stories by local experts on everything from bass to redfish to ducks, deer to trout and turkey. We've got incredible local information that you can use immediately to get more success outdoors. You'll also enjoy monthly columns on cooking, the latest lures, GPS locations, shooting, kayaks, and much more. Have Louisiana Sportsman delivered to your house and safe. $24.99 gets you a full year of Louisiana Sportsman. To order today, visit louisianasportsman.com.
I'm Richard Wagley, I'm at Bowie Outfitters, and now we're going to talk about where to hunt these turkeys. Obviously you have a place picked out, a hunting lease or public ground like I hunt a lot of as well. With turkeys you want big woods, open woods, they prefer that. They like fields, they like food plots. Later in the year the hens will gravitate toward thickets or cut over, the thickets around the edge of a field where they go to nest, and all of those things tie in together as to how you hunt them at certain times of the season. As the season progresses, you change your tactics a little bit. People ask me, when do I start to get ready for turkey season? Well, I never stop. While I'm deer hunting, I'm looking for areas that have turkeys, where you see them, and that's where I begin my scouting. You want to look for roost sites, places that they typically will like to roost, over creeks, over water in swampy areas, that sort of thing, edges of fields, edges of clear cut in big timber that they leave. Turkeys will generally try to roost over some water, whether it be a swampy area or a creek or something like that. They feel safer like that. Nothing, as far as from predators, nothing can sneak up on them and get to them. So that's why they typically like to roost over water. It is absolutely critical that you know the lay of the land as far as the hills, the hollers, the creeks, the water. Water is important. If you go get one of these topo maps, whether you're hunting public land like I do a lot of, or whether you're hunting private land, it helps if you have a map and you know the elevations, and it's just utterly important in calling a turkey as to knowing the lay of the land and what's out there and those sort of things, especially if you're hunting public land that you've never set foot on.
On day 2, we went back and tried to get after the first birds that we got on, where there was, 3 or 4 or 5 gobblers all there in one area.
We hiked back into the woods probably about a half mile, hoping to really just go around those birds instead of getting too close to them this time.
And when it broke daylight, we actually didn't hear nothing.
Well, we just assumed, I really figured we'd be able to find them gobblers from yesterday morning. That's why we stayed out of there yesterday evening. I didn't want to go in there and mess it up. And they got a big range, and there's no telling where they wound up. But
what we decided to do was some more running and gunning, getting in the truck, drive into a spot, get out at that spot, let things settle, and then make a call. If you don't hear anything, get in and go again.
Normally, I've had a little bit more prep time to scout and find a bird, and I like my ideal situation is to find a gobbler that I know where he's at. But when I don't know where one's at and I'm kind of desperate running mode, I just basically, you can get in the truck. I've done it since I was a kid, and I know a lot of guys, that's the only way they hunt. And basically, you get in the truck and go and find a vantage point where you can hear as far as you can hear, try to find a good vantage point for hearing. And you try to call and make him gobble. And if you do, you go to him. If you don't, you get in the truck and go try again, and you can just keep hitting spots until you run out of morning is what you do.
Well, we left Peace Ridge and drove over to Kisatchie National Forest. This gave me a lot more confidence because I saw the confidence in Shane. He really, really knew this area. You could tell he had spent a lot of time hunting out there.
And then we got out and walked, way down in this big swamp in the bottom. And the first call I made brought 2 gobblers. They gobbled immediately, and they was right at the bottom of the hill. And I don't know the distance, but they was just out of shotgun range. They were just super close.
We get set up again, and that bird never shows up. He's gone. He probably saw us.
I think he had to have seen the cameraman, but anyway, he saw something or smelled a rat or something, because he ain't never said another word. And the way he was gobbling originally, he didn't just shut up. He saw something. He was spooked. I think then we give up there and drove all the way back to Fort Polk and run into one of my favorite places on the planet.
We keep doing the truck method, where we drive around, stop, get out and call, and eventually Shane loses confidence in that. He wants to park the truck, get out, and hike back in. So that's what we did. And the cool thing was, as we're doing this hike, there's wild horses running around everywhere. The scene itself was just amazing. You had ferns growing under the pines, big, tall, pretty pine trees. It really is a cool place to see. So we decided to go with what Shane calls the going for broke method, where you set up and you're going to stay in that one spot for a couple of hours, hoping that you can actually call something in. And the going for broke method, we went broke. It didn't work out, and that was the end of day 2.
we grasping at straws, right here at the end of it's already nearly 3 o'clock. And They usually just don't do a whole lot in the middle of the day or up past dinner, you know. So we're going to call our way out of here and call it a day.
This is Ryan Terrio. I'm here at Bowie Outfitters, and listen, I'm an avid bow hunter. If you're looking for a place with the best service in the South and wonderful accessories, not to mention a top-of-the-line bow range, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. A wonderful staff here and great service at Bowie, but an awesome selection of guns. We have pistols, rifles, and shotguns, and everything else you could imagine. And for all those hard-to-find bass fishing and inshore products, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. That's Bowie Outfitters for everything outdoors in between Essen and Bluebonnet on Perkins Road.
Do you want the better selection and bigger savings? Service Chevrolet Cadillac has the largest inventory of Chevys in Louisiana. You can choose from over 300 Silverados, all in one location. The Chevy Silverado has the best pickup coverage in America and the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup on the road. Shop the better selection and get bigger savings at Service Chevrolet Cadillac, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey, or visit us at servicegm.com.
As fishermen, we're predators, and fish are the prey. In nature, the best fishermen have one thing in common: their eyes. How do you turn your eyes into the eye of a predator? It takes 11 layers of lens technology and a new lens color to make the human eye emulate the eye of a predator. Stop buying glasses for the classes. Make yourself an alpha predator.
LouisianaSportsman.com is the South's premier hunting and fishing website. Planning a hunting or fishing trip? Visit LouisianaSportsman.com and get up-to-the-date information on weather, tides, or solar data. Our breaking news and continually updating forum will keep you up to date. Or visit our report section and ask the locals what's been biting and where. Need to sell or buy an outdoor item? LouisianaSportsman.com's free classifieds are the quickest way for you to reach the outdoor market. LouisianaSportsman.com, the quick way to get the most of the outdoors.
You know, you can tell the guys are struggling a little bit this week, but we're committed to making some public land hunts, and you'll find two things about this hunt. One, they're hunting turkeys, which are hard anyway, and two, it's public land. These turkeys have been hunted before. They know when there are other hunters in the woods.
I have a huge respect for public land because that allows normal people like myself to go hunt and fish and partake of the great outdoors, to where without it, I'm sure I'd be on a leash somewhere, but I would rather hunt for free. I mean, to me, that's my right. That's my God-given right. I pay taxes in this state, and I don't do well on leases because they refine you to this little bitty area, and it's kind of do or die. I mean, if there's a turkey there, you got a chance. If he ain't, you might as well go home because you don't have any other options, you know. On public land, you can run around to the other side of that thing, or, you know, for us, for sure. I mean, you've got multiple public lands that we have access to, and it's lots of options, you know.
No, public land hunting is very hard, just based on people. And, you know, the turkeys they are pressured just like anywhere else. But, I mean, turkeys are, everywhere I've ever hunted, they're pressured because there's people getting after them. So it's not so much it's just the activity, the people in and out of the woods and all the time, and they just get to where they don't gobble like they normally would if they wasn't pressured, you know.
Our plan for day 3 was to go back to Kisatchie, hike down into that draw, and get set up on those birds that we heard the day before.
When we got in there, I wanted to start in the front. Well, there was another man there that was already there, and we stopped and talked to him and was polite and make sure we didn't upset nobody. And to keep from walking all over him, we walked probably a mile on foot going back in there and went back into the same bottom where we had heard the 2 gobblers the day before that had the hens.
Well, once again, just like day 2, we get down in there where we thought the birds would be and we don't hear anything. But typical Shane, typical public land warrior, I mean, he gets us to hiking, and we're going up hills, down hills, all around those woods till he saw something that he liked.
That's them right there. That's where they crossed at yesterday, right there. They flew down and hit that sandbar. Is that the birds we heard yesterday? Yeah, that's the same dude. We seen where they crossed down yonder. They're going up on that ridge right there. And I bet they ain't far.
You know, I have a lot of friends who hunt out west to talk about how cool it is to spot and stalk hunt elk and deer, Let me tell you, here in the South, you hook up with a guy like Shane Johnson, and you can do your fair share of hiking.
We ended up walking way down through the swamp. We walked up to the next ridge and tried to strike a gobble there. Didn't do nothing. We come back down and we set up probably 2 times in the bottom, and just to no avail with nothing. You know, we never did get a gobbler. We never heard a gobble today.
The cool thing about making this TV show is that we're going to have access to high-dollar hunting leases. We're going to have access to regular hunting leases. And then we're still going to try and do shows on public land. We realize that there's a lot of opportunities here in Louisiana and in the South, for that matter, to hunt some really good public places. Sometimes we'll come up short. Sometimes we'll make a great story out of it. But we're committed to doing public land hunts here on Sportsman TV.
No, I mean, if you don't have the drive and the persistence to just keep on keeping on, I promise you, turkey hunting is not your sport.
So the Gobblers won this round. But with a guy like Shane Johnson on the prowl, you can bet he's going to get his revenge.
I don't see any problem with killing my 2 birds this year. I mean, and if I didn't kill them, it wouldn't be a big deal. My goal is to let my boys kill first anyway, but I'm still going to kill mine, I can assure you.
Now you go out and get you some gobblers.
You know, one thing we've learned this week, regardless if you hunt private land or public land, turkey hunting is tough. It's hard to call in a turkey. Number 2, hunting on public land is probably even harder than that. But number 3 is Shane Johnson has killed a lot of turkeys. He's killed a lot of deer on our public land here in the state, just to prove that how good our public land hunting is. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. We'll see you here next time on Sportsman TV.
Why Bowie Outfitters? Our customers know why.
When you need something, you come in, you ask for it, and you can get it. Great selection of clothes here, guns, shells, calls, whatever you need. I like coming in and doing that. And more importantly for me, I'm a big bow hunter. I think these guys are better than anybody. That's why I come over to Bowie Outfitters.
That's Bowie Outfitters, Perkins Road between Essen Lane and Bluebonnet. Bowie Outfitters, for everything outdoors.
Don't just be a sportsman, look like one too. Men, women, kids, everyone wants to look like a good sport. And now you can find it all in one place without leaving the house. Our popular Sportsman logo clothing and accessories are just a click away at LouisianaSportsman.com. T-shirts, caps, polarized sunglasses, jewelry, koozies, and more are available in a variety of sizes and colors. It's easy to show the world that you are a sportsman. Visit shop.louisianasportsman.com today and get that perfect sportsman item for yourself or as a gift for that sportsman in your life.